Hey, what's up everybody? 3D Theory here. Today is October 17th, 2024 at 11:15 a.m. and this is vlog number 58. Today in the 3D printer room, it is 80.4 degrees Fahrenheit with a 52% humidity level. And for those of you who are new to the channel, this is my tiny 3D print farm of 5 Bambu Lab A1 3D printers. And usually what I have printing out over here are latches and plates. So we have some latches here that I print out in gray PETG, and they look amazing, by the way. Very nice. So that's a left latch, right latch, left plate. These also look fantastic. And right plate over here. And what these are for a larger product that doesn't have any other 3D printed parts, so I don't really talk about it and focus only on the 3D printed aspect of it. But production is pretty much on pause right now, and that's because we had an order of 300 units that we needed to make. So one unit is a left and a right latch and a left and a right plate, which makes one unit. We had an order of 300, and we're putting together the products now, and they're taking a really long time. We're almost halfway through with complete products, but to put them together takes a lot of time. Before, I was outputting about 12 units a day, and now I'm doing 24 units a day, but I get to probably build out products maybe once or twice a week. So it's taken a little bit of time. Nonetheless, I have this AMS Light Combo here with a top mount on this A1 because when we're going through printing, I get near empty spools of filament like you see here, and they can't print out a full plate or a full latch on their own. And so in that case, I get those near empty spools of filament and put them on here and activate the auto refill system. And I'll start a plate or a latch. This is for printer number 5, by the way, which is this here. And I'll start the print. One near empty spool of filament will finish, and then it'll just automatically switch over to another one and finish off this print. And so that's why I got this AMS Light Combo. It can do that, among other cool things. By the way, I got all the prints back that are available on my Maker World for free. You can download them and print them out. And just to go over a few of them here, we have the Sith throne from Star Wars Episode 9. We have Vader's throne from the Kenobi series, as well as Bo-Katan's throne from Mandalorian Season 2. And what they are thrones for your phone. You can put your phone on there horizontally, vertically, and the cool part is you can tilt it as needed. There's a couple of slots for you to do so, just in case you're looking at it from a higher angle, and you can adjust it to what you need it for. And this is kind of just a makeshift phone to show that. Over here, we have thickness tests. So as you're going in and modeling out your products, you can see what thickness you need to make something. And this is a 0.3 millimeter thick card here. And I go all the way up to 4 millimeters. So you can kind of get a real world reference as you're 3D modeling. So that's also available on the Maker World. There's that Lightyear laser blade from the Pixar animated film Lightyear, as well as these fun little pen cups. This is a geometric pen cup, that was a flower pen cup. There's a little side table storage, and there's this little stealth French side table, and you can tell it's kind of small, but nonetheless, put your phone on it or something, maybe put it next to your couch or in the bathroom or wherever you feel like you might need it. And we've got green from Rainbow Friends. Really fun print. That was printed out on the AMS, by the way, with all the different colors. And over here we have a Santa hat with legs that kind of just can be put like that, and then all of a sudden when you lift it, there's some legs there. This was inspired by the Ghost with legs that was kind of popular for a little while. And I realized we can probably put like a white rim here or white ball there to give it more of that Santa hat look, maybe even do black boots now that we have the AMS system. And over here we have the Master Multitasker, which is basically just I call it a desk buddy. It's a little octopus, and you give it to somebody who takes care of a lot of things, and it's your way of kind of just showing your appreciation for all that they do. And there was going to be a whole series of those, but I kind of stopped. There was going to be different animals and what they represent and whatnot. But nonetheless, this is all available on my Maker World for free for download, printing, and having fun. Nothing like a nice warm cup of coffee. All right, guys, so we got some fun stuff prepared, and we're pretty much going to be moving on to our next project here, which is the Lazy Day tray over here. And this is something I printed out on the Creality CR6 Max. And as you can tell, it's a lot larger than the print area for the A1, so we couldn't print this out on the A1, so I printed it out on the CR6 Max, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think is 400 millimeter cube print area, and still I had to cut down on the width. This is kind of rectangular in shape now, but before it was kind of equal distant, so it's more of like a square as opposed to a rectangle over here. But I do have an idea here. The original plan for the Lazy Day tray over here was to get it injection molded. And what do I mean by that? I mean that this was not going to be filled up. This was going to be kind of a shell where it would probably be about this thick, ABS or food grade plastic, whatever that may be. I'll discuss it with my manufacturer, and it would just kind of be a sheet that was pressed and made into this form, kind of like vacuum forming, if you will. That was the look of it, but the way it was going to be made is obviously injection molded. That would keep the cost low on these things, and I'll be able to print out a lot of them, but the upfront fee of a mold of $10,000 or $7,000, what have you, was just something that I don't think I'm ready to do. But I did want to take this forward in a different way. You guys might remember the Stealth TV tray. This thing's awesome. This is also available on my Maker World. You just open it up like a regular TV tray there, and it has a place for your iPad or phone, a little storage compartment. So if you guys are interested, this is available on my Maker World as well. I have a detailed video on how to build it too. There is one thing I should probably say about this, because there are some people who have asked me about why I wrote and say that it's not meant for practical use. I've been using this for practical purposes myself. I put a plate of food on here, maybe a cup of coffee, and it can hold up. And as you've seen in the build video, it can hold up to 55 pounds. This thing has actually been doing what a TV tray is supposed to do, which is allow you to have food on there and sit on your couch and eat food off of it as you watch TV, and then fold it up as you don't need it. And I also used my laptop on here, and it was perfectly fine. However, I write not for practical use, just for user safety. So I don't recommend anybody else putting stuff on it, but I do. And for me, it's been working out fine. But with that aside, I brought this out for a specific reason. Now, since I want to make this Lazy Day tray, but I'm not going to injection mold it, yet I want to have similar features here, where I can put a cup in here, which I'm going to probably make a little bit bigger to be able to fit that better. But this fits like your standard cups, your standard coffee cups. This one's a little bit bigger, but maybe I can actually make that hole slightly bigger to fit this bigger coffee mug. And I wanted to have cup holders, a place for your iPad, phones, and this is meant for like when you're laying in bed, you want to have some popcorn, say some Skittles or M&Ms or whatever, your favorite foods or snacks as you're watching your favorite films in bed. So this would be next to you, and your partner would be there. You guys can just hang out, have your phones there. You maybe even put your TV remotes over here so you're not, figuring out where you put them as you're laying in bed and having a lazy day or a resting up day. And as you know, as I mentioned, it's kind of expensive to produce. So I came up with a different idea. I know that I have only so much space with these Bambu Lab A1s, and it's 256 millimeters cubed, and that's about all the room we have on here. And I pushed the limits of those build plates with this Stealth TV tray. So I thought to myself, hey, maybe I can take this tabletop as a base, get food grade collapsible bins like this here, and I can make a place for them. And obviously I wouldn't have these lids. These will not be in use for this table. I'll probably make my own lids. And we can have one there, and one there. And I would essentially create holes for them so they would sit flush with the tabletop, and this would essentially be a Lazy Day tray. It has a place for your phone. I know there's not a second location for your phone, but that's just something we're gonna have to cut. And maybe I can put 2 cup holders here or 1. Let's see, would it even fit? It might fit 2. So if, let's say it's right there, you know what? It might be able to fit 2. It would be on one side, but this is all something that we're gonna be designing and figuring out. And obviously, I'll change the design up a little bit. I won't have these geometric corners. I'll definitely be changing up the design so that it matches the aesthetic of these as well, because these have nice rounded corners, and maybe we can kind of bring that rounded corner like that. And if I cut some of this phone holder area, I could probably fit a cup holder there too. So yeah, it's looking like it's definitely possible. And maybe I can move these around so that we can have easy access for both parties as they're sitting on either side of this table. And this is meant for bed, so we're not going to have any legs here. And this one wasn't slated to have legs, but we can perhaps put some legs on here if it works out. I'm not sure if it will, but if it works out. If not, we can just, again, have something where it's just kind of like something you could put on your bed itself. So this is the next project. We're gonna actually go ahead and go through with the Lazy Day tray and have these collapsible silicone food storage containers that are food grade that, you know, you can open up, fill up with whatever food you want. And I think you could even take warm food because it's silicone. And then once you're done, you can remove them, wash them, and put them back. And these are gonna have 3D printed lids so that you can cover them up and say you wanna use it as a full table. You totally can. So that's the plan with the Lazy Day tray and kind of like the next project slated for us here. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this new Lazy Day tray feature. And the goal of this was to try to keep cost down. So the goal of this was to try to get as low cost sourced materials and try to keep it as low cost as possible so that we can make it accessible to people. So I went ahead on Temu and I bought this 3 set. They don't have same size ones. So no matter how long I looked and how much time I spent on trying to find it, I couldn't find 3 of the same size. They always came in different packs. And let's say they do have one, it cost $4 or $5. Let's say I just want to buy this one, it's $4 or $5, while this 3-pack is $4 or $5. So I just thought to myself, you know what, let me just get the 3-pack and try to make them work. Even though they're not equal in size, it's large, medium, and small, but at least there's more storage for different kinds of snacks that you want to eat. But nonetheless, that's the idea for the Lazy Day tray. But someone from my family has asked me for a stealth TV tray, but in the gray color I usually print out in, which is this gray over here. And I'm going to be printing that out pretty soon and building it up. But we're going to get that printed out maybe in the next vlog. And I kind of just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this new Lazy Day tray design. And we're gonna go through and sketch it out like we did with the Stealth TV tray and take it through to modeling all the way through to prototyping and having a final 3D printed product. And the goal here is, and I say this with a little bit of carefulness because time has been kind of sporadic with me. One week I'll have a lot of time on my hands while the next week I'll be really swamped. But weekly, I want to design a product from scratch on paper, 3D model it, prototype it, and 3D print it, and make it available on Etsy. And so every week we're gonna have a product, and I already do have 8 ideas in mind. Maybe I can make a video on it and we can do a poll on which ones you guys want me to do after this. But nonetheless, guys, that about wraps it up for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, peace, love, and joy.